Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk about Chenxing. We're going to talk about whether or not you should pull for her, whether or not you should pull for her weapon, is she worth pulling for, where would she be relevant in the game, and so let's get into it, guys. So Chenxing is a really beautiful looking character. This is skin that you can actually get for free, farming through the event, which is nice. I'm really glad that they did that. I think that is fantastic. Now she is an electrical based character, and whenever you're using her standard skill, you actually hold your E skill down and it'll actually scan the entire area, and if you move the scanner around, it'll scan more targets all at once, which is actually pretty damn cool. It marks them, and then after you scan, she launches what's called spiritual slips at all marked targets, dealing electrical damage upon hit and attaching to the targets. While scanning, Chenxing's anti-eruptor ability is improved, and then when Chenxing shoots the part of any target to which a spiritual slip is attached, detonates all spiritual slips, dealing electrical damage. So what happens is whenever you're shooting these marked targets on your opponents, there's going to be a little electrode that's going to lash out and connect to all the other targets all at once while you're shooting, which means you're dealing multiple damage to multiple characters all at once, which is amazing. It's an insane form of AoE that she has whenever she's doing damage by using her gun. It's actually really, really cool. And then spiritual slip detonation damage decreases by 30%, which each slip in detonation, which is a little extra damage. Now, whenever you level up the neuronics on this skill, when spiritual slips disappear, a blast is triggered, dealing 70% of Chenxing's attack as electrical damage to attached targets. So obviously, the higher she's leveled up, the more damage she's actually going to do. And then silk spiritual slips can mark up to 8 targets at once, which means you're going to be doing more damage to more targets all at once. Or whenever you do the scan, you just do to one target, a whole bunch of marks are going to happen on one target, and you're just going to do multiple damage to that target. It's a really, really cool effect that she has. And then her support skill. Now her support skill, I can't really show you guys. Well, I can show you, but I can't really show you these things because I don't have the neuronics leveled up. But Chenxing launches Scarlet Thunder at up to 5 targets in front, dealing electrical damage upon hit and attaching to the targets. This thing does dot damage as it is applied, which can be pretty damn useful as a support character. While attached, Scarlet Thunder emits pure lightning, dealing electrical damage each second. When an operative shoots the weak spot of a target that has Scarlet Thunder attached, a scarlet current passes through all targets once and deals electrical damage, which is awesome. So whenever you're using her as a support character and you're using other characters that shoot this weak point, whenever this is applied, you're just going to do a whole bunch more electrical damage, which is nice. Whenever you level this thing up, when triggering the Scarlet Thunder weak spot effect, recovers 1 U energy, which helps you gain your ultimate energy, so you can do your ultimate a little bit faster. That's also a really good support skill that she has, her support passive. And then when Scarlet Thunder Counterblade first hits a target, it inflicts it with paralyzed effect. Now this is actually really, really cool because I believe that only the free life has the paralyzed effect. And now we have Chenxing that also has it. And this is actually very, very good, especially against certain bosses and neural simulation. Very, very OP, applying some debuffs so you can do a whole lot more damage. So really cool that they did give that to her. And then her ultimate. Her ultimate is very strong. Chenxing combines all spiritual slips and Scarlet Thunder to form a celestial key, which she uses to bombard a large area in front, knocking targets into the air and dealing electrical damage. This is really cool. It kind of acts like the free life's ultimate skill, where it just knocks up a bunch of targets all at once while dealing a bunch of electrical damage. It's just insane to do this thing. And then after using the celestial key, a dominant zone is activated. Fierce Thunder continuously strikes in the zone, each strike dealing electrical damage. Whenever you level up the neuronics on this thing, when Celestial Key hits, resets the attached duration of all spiritual slips in the area, which is awesome, guys. It means you're going to do a lot more damage because those marked areas or those spiritual slips are still going to be applied. That's really cool. And then when in dominant zone, increases ballistic damage taken by the enemies by 20%, which is massive, guys. You're going to do a lot more bullet damage because of this. So whenever you're firing your weapon while the signature is being applied or the ultimate is being applied, while your spiritual slips are also applied all at the same time, she does really, really good damage. But there is a caveat to it, as we'll explain here in a little bit. And so when we take a little further at her kit, you know, we get to her weapon. Now, this is going to be the big caveat for this character. This weapon is pretty much a must-have for her. It is a godly weapon for her because this thing adds a tremendous amount. Increased electrical damage by 18% and crit damage amplifier by 12%. So her critical damage, every time she does critical hits with this weapon, she's going to do a lot more damage. This is just bumping up her entire damage. And then when dealing electrical damage, gain 1 stack of Crimson Cloud, max 50 stacks, which is a lot after obtaining the max number of stacks. Stacks clear, and the Crimson Sky Shield state is activated for 5 seconds. In this state, attack is increased by 21%. On top of that increased electrical damage that this thing offers, Crimson Cloud effect can still be obtained when in Crimson Sky Shield states. So essentially, guys, this thing is giving her some huge damage buffs. And the thing about the weapon is, if you are a giggity whale, a blue whale, and you decide to get another copy of this weapon, you can actually increase your electrical damage to 30%. You're gaining another 12% electrical damage, which is pretty damn massive. And the critical damage amplifier goes up to 20% instead of 12%. These damage amplifiers multiply your critical damage, man. You're just going to do a lot more damage. And then when dealing electrical damage, gain 1 stack of Crimson Cloud, max 50 stacks, right? You're going to get an increased attack by 35%, whereas whenever you just only have it one time, it's 21%. You're getting some massive buffs from this thing if you have double the weapon, right? It's an expensive cost, but it really will make her insanely strong, or a whole lot stronger than what she actually will appear to be. So if you don't have this weapon, she's going to appear, I think, somewhat underwhelming for a lot of players out there. But if you do have the weapon, even if you only have just the weapon, you haven't leveled it up, you haven't modified it, it's going to be pretty big for this character. It's actually going to be kind of a make or break for the character. I think for a lot of players, like if they have her, if they have the weapon, I think they're going to be a lot happier with her. If they don't have the weapon, I think they're going to be, you know, maybe slightly disappointed, but then again, maybe not. She is a very fun character and still a useful character if you do have her, even without her weapon. For logistics, now this is the recommended logistics set that they equip on the character, the Menge Squad, and this is a set that you can actually farm for free in the event, which is nice. I'm really glad that they took out all the RNG where you can actually get this set for free. And this set increases ballistic damage by 24%, increasing your bullet damage. And then also when 3 officers are equipped, it increases electrical damage, increasing attack of the equipping operative by 1% for 3 seconds, max 45 stacks. This is very massive, especially for a character with an assault rifle, right? The assault rifle has a nice rate of fire, which is actually really OP. I mean, 600 rate of fire means that you're going to be able to build those passes, those stacks up very fast. So this is a very good card set for her. Now, something that I want to throw out at you guys is that, you know, you don't have to use this card set. I do think that if you're using her as a support character, you're just using her support skill, you could actually team her up with a character like the 5-star Finny, who does electrical damage. And what you could do is you could actually slap the Twilight Squad on her. She does electrical damage when she does that support skill, and she will actually decrease the target's resistance of the electrical damage by 16% for 5 seconds, increasing your 5-star Finny's damage. So if you have this character and you don't even have her weapon, you still can get some really good buffs for your electrical team if you are using her, right? Because of the way her support skill works. It's actually really nice, guys. Very OP. And then we get into their manifestations. Her first manifestation is really nice because when Ethereal Cloud Shot hits a weak spot, ballistic damage increases by an extra 1% for 3 seconds. And again, because she uses an assault rifle, you're going to be able to build up that damage very fast, guys, in that 3-second timer period. You will get 15% extra ballistic damage whenever you have this thing unlocked. Her second manifestation, duration of Spiritual Slips and Scarlet Thunder, increased by 50%. So that means all your marked targets are going to have an increase to the time that those things are going to be applied for by 50%. That is so nice. And then the third one, when Chenxing shots hits a target with a Spiritual Slip attached, critical damage amplifier increases by 30%. So you can imagine how strong this character would get if you have her weapon, then you have the weapon modifier with its critical damage amplifiers built into it. And then on top of that, if you actually had 3 manifestations on her, it's a heavy investment, but she will become insanely strong whenever you have all this unlocked. And then her fourth one, Silk spiritual slip skill level by 1, increasing the damage of the spiritual slips, increases to 44%. Very, very OP for the character. And then her final manifestation, when spiritual slips are detonated by Chenxing shock, there's a 30% chance to deal extra damage equal to 50% of detonation, increasing her power. Really, if you can get up to this third one, it's going to be very, very strong for this character, but it also means that you're going to need 210 shards in order to unlock this third one. You get 60 shards for every copy, so it's a heavy investment to try to get her leveled up. But even if you don't have her leveled up, guys, and you do have her weapon, she can still be a very, very useful character and a very good character to have. And if you're using it as a support, she really doesn't even need her weapon. You can equip that Twilight set and still get that electrical resistance down for your 5-star Finny if you do have her. Her neuronics, we've already talked about her neuronics. So I mean, she's a really, really cool character, a really, really fun character, and has a unique play style because you have to target those marked enemy spots so that way you can do damage to multiple enemies all at once. Her AoE is insane. Her damage is very, very good, but I don't think the strongest damage in the game. I do think that the 5-star Finny and the 5-star Yao do have more damage than her, but it really depends on your account, guys, like how much you have her leveled up compared to other characters. I mean, some characters are going to appear stronger because you might have their manifestations leveled up more than say other characters, so it really just depends on account, and it also depends whether or not you have 5-star weapons equipped to those characters. Especially in Chenxing's case, it's really a big caveat to the character is that she really needs that weapon to be a good solo damage dealing character. But even if you have her, she can be used as a very good support, especially if you use that Twilight Squad set on her for other characters that deal electrical damage. However, I think the best option for that would be Finny because she does do electrical damage. The shotgun is just insane. The damage that she puts out is just nutso. So should you pull for her or not? Well, it really would just depend on your love for the character, and also would depend on how many gems you got. You know, in these 50-50 banners, it's always a risky thing to pull for characters. But the truth is, guys, nobody really needs her, right? She's a very good character to have. She's a fairly strong character, but nobody really needs her. And really the same for Acacia. Right, the game has done a really good job in that the characters that we pick from the selector that we get for free whenever we start off the game, the fact that, you know, we have the 50 pulls in the very beginner banner, you're going to get a limited character from there. The characters that we get through the game are actually very, very strong, and really more than strong enough to do everything in the game. So it really isn't a need to have the character, but she can buff up your 5-star Finny if you do have her or you plan on getting her, even if you don't have the weapon. And she is a massive AoE damage dealing character. So if those are things that you're interested in, as well as just being a beautifully aesthetic character, a character that you just love to play, you just love her play style, you love the assault rifle, then I think you should pull for her if you have enough gems. But we do have 42 days of this event from the time of recording this video, which means that you have a good almost 6 weeks of farming that you can actually do, and you can get around 1,600 gems every single week, especially if you already played quite a bit through the story mode. I mean, so it's a lot of gems, so you might be able to get the character before she leaves. But again, I don't think anybody really needs her, but I do think she is a very good character to have. I think she could be a very useful character to have, especially for that 5-star Finny. But personally, I'm loving her. I love her unique play style. I think she's a beautiful looking character. So guys, let me know what you think about Chenxing, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. JD+7 time. Link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody. Take care.